So I appreciate you taking these initiatives and then creating YouTube channel and then taking online classes and then connecting with people from different parts of our country, having conversation, speaking practice, showing this courage, and then uploading some of the videos in order to motivate people. It's a good initiatives. Otherwise, girls are these days mostly uploading the dancing videos.
I can't dance. That is the thing. But yes, I think,
Yeah,
yes, as you said, that people don't watch these kind of videos. Meeting for the first time. So we'll start with introduction. If you want, you can go ahead.
sure. Yeah, my name is Neeraj Singh. I'm from state of Himachal Pradesh. I'm an English teacher. I'm still learning how to teach. I cannot say that I'm a perfect teacher, but still I'm learning how to teach this language. And then I love meeting with people from different places and then have some conversation speaking practice, to share something and then talk about how can we develop our teaching skills, especially when we are learning this particular language, or how can we learn this language more effective manners. So this is what something about me.
Also a
Sure.
teacher profession. And I used to teach in schools earlier.
All
But
right.
because of
Mm-hmm.
my family responsibilities, I left my job. And also, I wanted to try something of my own. I always had that thing that, okay, let me try for once. And for that reason, I started giving online classes. So it's not a very big thing, but a very small scale online classes that I'm doing because I don't have so much of time. I have a time constraint. But yes, I have this thing in mind. When I will have more time, I will make it big. I will try to make it bigger, actually. So for now, it is very small. But yes, I give online classes, online spoken classes for kids, for homemakers, for working people. And yeah, this is pretty much about me.
So when did you start your own online classes, and then what motivated you to begin your online classes for kids and adults?
So it's been now this month, it will be almost 8 months. And what
Mm-hmm.
motivated me was, first of all, I was not working. I was full time at home. And then I thought that maybe I should do something better. Maybe my whatever little bit of qualities I have in me is not utilized as much. So this was just a thing that I wanted to try something, how it works. But yes, then I started getting some positive response. People started liking the way I teach them. And they started learning actually. And they could see difference in them. So because that motivated me a lot, many of my students message me, tell me that they are happy, they are learning. So that motivates me a lot. And so I think that it's better to do this because I enjoy doing this thing.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. And then what kind of strategies are you following for beginners? There are a lot of controversies like grammar is important, spoken is important, grammar is not important. A lot of conflicts. Sometimes people keep on having argument on this. So how are you starting for like beginners, those who want to learn this particular language? What do you think about it?
I think that, see, everybody knows that listening is important. Everybody now knows that speaking is important. But what is important is, you have to know the strategy. When you start, of course, little bit of grammar is required, right? If you are saying about, if you don't know where to use am, will, would, could, then your sentences won't be framed perfectly, right? And if you're starting something, then the base should be good. That is what I think. People think that grammar is not important. But I think if you don't have a proper base of grammar, it will take a lot of time to be that fluent speaker. So for me, the strategy is that if your first day you are in my class, then little bit of grammar, little bit of speaking topic, little bit of description, everything in it, 10, 20, 15 minutes, whatever is possible.
Yeah, like LSRW. What do you think about it? Four skills to develop: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. How important are they in the process of learning any language, especially when we talk about learning English language?
I think my favorite for now is listening and speaking. Okay, reading and writing is also very important. But it is important for those who are preparing for any competitive exams or they have to give some government exams or anything. Of course, writing is also important for them. But for now, those who want to communicate and they want to talk in English, I think for them, speaking and listening is the most important. What do you think? You are also a teacher. You tell me your insights.
I think it's important, like listening and speaking. First of all, listening, because any language, I think a child before he goes to school, he speaks language. How does that happen? It's because of listening. So the first step to learn any language is listening. Listen carefully how people speak. It doesn't matter that whether you understand everything or you don't, but once we listen we get some idea what kind of words, how are people pronouncing, and then how do they make sense if we understand their meanings. And then speaking, so listening and speaking, but speaking is a bit harder for everyone. In India people understand English, they read, they write everything, even they teach also. But when it comes to speaking out, because of lack of practice, sometimes people are not able to speak. So for speaking practice we need to open our own mouth and then keep on practicing it, because sometimes we will know spelling also, we may know meaning, we can understand, we can write that also. But when it comes speaking it out, the chances are that we may not able to speak, because when I keep on teaching some words for my students, like unbelievably, so most of them pronounce it unbelievably. It doesn't come. They know what is this, the meaning also and the spelling also, but if they want to speak the same word from their own mouth, the chances are that lack of practice they might not be able to speak it out. So speaking requires practice. For practice we have to open our own mouth, and we need to have someone just like you
Yes.
keep on talking and improving. What do you
Correct.
think?
But if I would ask you that, like, which category of students are the most difficult to, teach for you? Like, um, from which age range do you teach? Do you teach students also, kids also? And what is the most difficult, age group to teach English?
Adults.
And why would you say that?
The reasons I tell you, because there are four things to keep it in your mind before you start learning English language: determination, resources, hard work, and time. So adult, what they do, and they have no time,
Yeah.
and they don't want to do hard work also, and then that's why they enroll in courses but they have no time. And then learning is a process, it takes time, because they are busy with, they are occupied with a lot of activities and all, so they rarely get time. And then sometimes they seek instant feedback, maybe like suppose if I'm joining today, maybe within 1 week I will become fluent English speaker without working hard,
Yeah.
without knowing anything, just because of joining in classes, maybe automatically I will learn. That won't happen. When we talk about kids, they go step by step: word power, pronunciation, sentence formation, storytelling, reading, listening, writing, speaking, conversation, WH, group discussions. Then slowly, step by step, they improve. And you can see within 3 months, 6 months, they are able to speak, because they are paying attention also. But adults, they have already some knowledge about English language based on the translation method, which allows us to always, translate two languages in our head. Depending on the translation method, it doesn't allow us to think in English. Once we don't think in any language, we can't be that much fluent as we are expecting. So adults, they take some time. I find a difficulty, though they enroll, but their progress, not all of them, some of them, they then won't able to achieve what I expect from them.
But having said that, do you also feel sometimes, do you also go in self-doubt? Because this has happened with me. Some students just keep on telling me, like after one, like you said, they need validation after 1 week or 2 weeks. So have you ever experienced that after 2 weeks they tell you that maybe they are not learning, and you as a teacher feel maybe you were not good enough or you did not teach well? So does that happen with you? Because it happens with me.
Sometime it may happen, but mostly I try to clear all the doubts there in the class itself. Actually, we give a lot of practice of speaking language. That's the thing. But sometime they don't pay attention,
Yes.
don't pay attention, and then don't do the practice. So whatever they do, that is in the class. Right after class, then they are not concerned about it at all. So in some cases it happens, but mostly we try to deal everything in language is like as I said, that it's all about practice. For practice we need an expert. If we can learn language by ourselves also, but then learning language from an expert will save our maximum time and we can become fluent within a shorter period of time. This is what my experience is. Some people can learn from here and there by themselves as well. If they are taking some classes from an expert, that will help them to learn soon. So we provide them lot of speaking practice classes, but the thing is that sometimes they don't work hard and then they don't pay attention and it happens. That's true, as you said.
So most of the students have this thing that within 1 month, mostly within 1 month, they expect that a visible change should be there. But it is rare to find within 1 month. I think it's very small time, very little time, I would say.
Yeah, why doesn't it happen actually? To speak any language, it requires word power. Any language we speak, we read, we write, we understand, we communicate, it depends on words. If we have enough words, we can easily understand, we can easily communicate, and we can easily talk to anyone. So if someone's word power is very low, then how they're expecting things to happen within a shorter period of time? Because people don't want to improve their vocabulary, the basic components of learning language: word power, pronunciation, and grammar structure. So word power is our actual strength in any language, in understanding and speaking as well. Maybe my grammar might be wrong, at least based on my words I can express my feelings to someone what I want. If I have words, if I don't have any word what to say for that thing, then I will get stuck.
Yeah.
So first of all, people don't want to build up their word power, and it takes time. As you said, if they have enough words, we will help them to how to form a sentence,
Yeah.
how to arrange these words in sentences, and then give practice. But if they don't have word power, then it takes time, slowly, slowly, slowly.
But if somebody is just beginning, how much time do you think that at least to a understandable level they reach, that they are not hesitant to speak? So how much time does it take?
It may take 2 to 3 months minimum. Maximum, it can take 6 months to 1 year, but 2 to 3 months, any language it may be, so they can. I guess so. It's our experience also. But then sometime for some people it can take a little more time also. But if they are joining any within any experts, so 2 to 3 months are sufficient. I think so.
And also, if I would ask you, do you take online and offline both classes?
I take online, offline, both, and then still I'm trying to learn more things. Actually, there are so many things, but we are making sure that sometime people are making grammar as very complicated, translating grammar and all. We are trying to make it very practical manner. Like whatever we teach, without realizing them, we are teaching them grammar, but we need to give them practice.
And do
So
you,
that is called the direct structural method of learning and teaching English language.
so do you do translation also in the classes?
No, no, we don't do that.
So even I don't do
The
that.
reason is that
Yeah.
hmm,
Please tell me the reason, because I also,
the reason is that
yeah.
Are you following the translation method?
No, I did not. But recently I thought that, okay, let me try how it works. So last 2 days I tried this, but you tell me why you're not doing it.
No, actually, the reason is that what happens. We know that English is not our first language, especially people living in India. So that means we have to learn this language from our first language, whatever language we may be speaking or we speak. So, but if we know some basic language, basic English, then we need to stop translating,
Okay.
because we need to always carry two languages in our head. So if we stop translating, then what happens, our thinking may go in English language. How it will go? English to simple English, simply. For example, when, now if I ask you, if I ask my students when, then the different people will give different answers. People joining from Tamil Nadu, the when will be different in their language. From Telugu, people different. Hindi people different. And then from, Keralite people different. So if I tell them when means time, it can be present time, it can be past time, it can be future time. Whenever you read any word when, so always the thinking should go in your mind. When means time, today, tomorrow, yesterday, this morning, this afternoon. When is your birthday? When were you born? When do you go to school? When did you, go there? When will you go for anything? So it means time. Mother means female parent, mother and father's parents. So we stop, slowly we stop that translation habit. Then what happens, they learn English, they learn another English words also, simple English, English to English. In between we need to tell translation little bit, but after telling that we should tell them don't depend on it. Suppose anyone, maybe foreign teacher, asking you what is when, if you tell to him, sir, when means curve, he will say, what are you speaking? Maybe any teacher joining from foreign, maybe we are taking classes from him. So then what happens, it allows us to think slowly in English. Once we keep on thinking in English, I think later on it becomes our habit. Then we are not depending on translation. And then sometime what happens, the thing is that every language has its own influence. The way we speak in Hindi, we may not speak in English. As I mentioned in previous video also, कौन कौन शोर कर रहे हैं, कौन कौन दो बार आ रहा है. So we cannot say who are shouting. Maybe if I'm speaking one who, maybe what about the second one? Because if I want to go for accuracy, something like that. So some people are following. In the beginning, it is better to follow because we don't have any other options. But I prefer later on, switch to the English to English. So direct structural method of teaching English, English to English, English for teaching, English for learning, English for understanding, English for speaking. Then automatically after some time people can speak.
Yeah, I think six, whatever time I have taught, I also followed this. I don't use Hindi words because my mother tongue is Hindi. So I don't use Hindi words in the class. But then from last 2 days, I thought, okay, let me try how it works for them. So I started implementing this translate. I give them Hindi word, like because they are Hindi speakers mostly. So I gave them Hindi sentences and I expected them to translate it into English. So what I found is that different people are translating in different ways. जैसे मना किया, some are saying forbidden, some are saying refused, and some are saying denied. All three are correct, I think. So yeah,
Yeah, all three are correct.
yes, that creates confusion.
That's okay. Actually, in the beginning, it's okay. There is no problem. Actually, in the beginning, we need to give some idea about it, but then we should not fully make people to depend on the translation method. Then you know what is happening in our country. A lot of teachers, YouTubers, those who are teaching from Hindi to English, even the students, they complete their course. They have very sound knowledge about English language in Hindi. Everything they know about in English, but in Hindi. Still, that speaking is lacking. Then, when will they start speaking? The reason, they acquire a lot of knowledge about grammar, about sentences, structures, everything in Hindi, full knowledge. That's why the teachers teaching in government schools, English teachers, they have
Yes.
good knowledge. They teach well, their writing is absolutely all right, but when it comes in speaking out,
Mm.
so sometimes they lack. So we need to try to, when you speak, when you teach something English, so at least students will get the opportunity to listen from you. They listen explanation, English words, how are you speaking, how are you explaining. Maybe one day, 2 days, they may not understand. Once you tell that this is the meaning of so and so in their own language, but then after that you need to tell the second meaning of that word in English. So next time you expect them to respond you in English. For their understanding, Hindi is okay, what they know.
True, true. I think even I have experienced this. My cousins and all who were not from small towns, and they would, their teachers would do a lot of translation. They know everything about grammar, but there was no speaking environment and they never spoke. But if you check their grammar, they know everything, all the translation they can do, but the speaking part is missing. So, yes, I think what you said is completely
Yes, absolutely. Now this is what it happens, like when we are teaching them, everybody knows that the most common mistake people make, that's a present indefinite sentence tense. Not adding ses with the first form of verb if the subject is singular. Everybody have, we have knowledge, we know. But when it comes in speaking, yeah, yeah, he go to school here. No, no, he don't know and go. These are two. In Hindi they have knowledge, but when we want to apply it in speaking they may know some, maybe a teacher taught them he goes, then he goes will be okay.
Mm.
The moment you change the verb,
Yeah.
then that ses is not being added automatically. It's lack of practice. If you talk about knowledge, they will tell, okay, present indefinite means this. They are mastering rules.
Yeah.
So
Even
we should not
or
become
they get
master
good
in rules
marks.
rather in
Good
speaking.
marks also they will get because they know everything. They know the
Good
rule.
marks, yeah, absolutely. So speaking is requires, actually, for speaking practice we need to have various kind of activities. That's called the question answer method of learning English language. Asking questions in English, understanding questions in English, finally responding questions in English language. Why? Any conversation, it begins with question. If we have confidence to ask various questions, when, why, where, how long, how far, how often, how many, which, and then using 24 auxiliary verbs, then sentences, tenses according to situation, present, past, future, and then not getting distracted at all. Then understanding question and responding, question answer method, English to English, will help them slowly, like hello, hi, how are you, what's your name, where are you from. So for this kind of conversation, I don't think that translation is required.
Correct. But if I would ask you that you asked a question to your student, okay, and that person without hesitation is giving you the answer, but it is not what you asked. Okay, they didn't understand maybe. So do you stop them or do you let them complete? What is your way of it?
Yeah, actually, in the beginning, we allow them to complete, because if we keep on stopping, they will lose the confidence. In the beginning, we want them to speak English. Whether it is right, wrong, doesn't matter. Encourage them. You spoke 5 minutes in English. Doesn't matter. You speak right and wrong. They also get confident. I spoke English in 5 minutes constantly. Then later on, once they become fluent in broken also, then chances are then go for correction. Otherwise they won't be able to speak even single sentence. They will have that fear of making mistakes. If I speak, the chances are that the teacher is going to find out my mistake, so we shouldn't do it, because they don't know. Because that's because of the translation method. If I ask my student, where were you yesterday, why did you not attend your online class, I am in market yesterday. But in his mind, he's thinking that I spoke past, but he's speaking present.
Is it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. And also, a lot of my students, they tell me that, ma'am, I'm okay with present, but I'm not able to talk in past. If you ask me what happened 2 months back, then I'm not able to tell you how. I am able to tell you, but I'm not very confident in that tense. So, what would you do for that?
For past tense, we need to talk about mostly, that's called reporting something.
Yeah.
anything we want to report what happened,
Hmm.
so it will mostly be coming in the past. And then past tense, what are the most common things that we should be keeping in our mind? It's like, first of all subjects plus second form automatically should be keep on going, and then when we are using with did, then we need to make sure we are following the first form of verb, and then keep on thinking how we are communicating with someone. These are the things, it should automatically keep on coming from our mouth without thinking that, yeah, should I be using did or past, something like that. It takes little time, but then we need to give them enough speaking practice for that.
Yeah.
Was, were, had, did, first form of verb, and then without it second form of verb automatically. And then there should be sense of thinking, once we think that this is the way to speak, then automatically it will happen. But if we keep on depending on the translation, then it can give some time confusion also.
Okay, last question I have. So, do you do picture descriptions in the class? Describe this
Picture
picture.
descriptions, storytelling, picture description, pronunciation, reading, listening, writing, debate, and conversation on various topics, delivering speeches. And then some foreign teachers are also involving with us to correct the pronunciation part, because sometimes our Indian people, when they are talking with people from another nationalities, they are finding difficulty to understand how our people are talking. So whatever ways we have, we are trying to do everything. We are making sure that even one thing should not be left, because picture description is giving them some imagination,
Yeah.
and students are becoming fluent by seeing. Without picture description also, we are having role playing activities,
Yeah.
role play, various things we are trying to do for speaking practice.
From you, I also got very good insights. I would also try some of these in my class. Even though I do it, I do picture description also, storytelling also. But yeah, I think yes, it is effective. It's quite effective.
No, actually, for a spoken purpose, teacher is one kind of a role model. Actually, he's a leader. He has to show something to his students. Mostly, we expect our students to do anything, but we need to tell them in the beginning. For example, if I want my student to talk about the daily activities, it should begin from me. Hi, my dear students. Today, I want to talk about the daily activities. Okay, before you speak, I want to tell you my daily activities. Then they get chance to listen. After that, they get idea how to speak. If I want them to learn forms of vocabulary, first of all, I need to tell that I have learned 10. So first of all, it will begin from me. Then it's your turn. So anything we want our students to do, we have to show them the way. Mostly it is happening, some students are joining in online classes, maybe offline classes, and then teacher are telling, you don't know, you speak this. He doesn't know, that's why he's here. So
Yeah.
we are here to help him.
I think I think when we were back in school, this was what our teachers did. So we have learned from that it's okay. Even if they are making mistake, it's okay. They are learning something from that.
Hmm. For speaking practice, are you doing the repetition method, like repeating after you? Are you following
Shadowing.
it sometime? I'm following it.
Yes, yes. Sometimes,
I
sometimes
like
I think,
asking
yeah,
questions and then answering
yeah,
questions
asking
also,
questions.
and
Yeah,
then
this
telling.
I do. Asking questions and expecting them to answer. This I do a lot in the class. But shadowing,
No, no, answering also. After asking questions, answering also.
yeah, yes, answering like expecting them to answer.
Like
Yeah.
no, no. For example, suppose I'm asking questions, but I'm answering that question also by
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
After that, I'm telling my student to reply that. For
Okay.
example, if I ask questions, how often do you brush your teeth in a day?
Hmm.
And then I'm giving the answers also. I brush my teeth twice in a day, in morning after having my breakfast, and at night before I go to bed. Let's
Oh,
give a try. The
oh,
student
that's
will
nice.
slowly slowly do, then again I will repeat for him again. But when I repeat, he gets some motivation. Yeah, the way he's speaking, he tries to copy 10, 20, 50, 60, 70. Then after some time, he becomes fluent.
Hmm. Yeah.
First of all, we have to become fluent in sentences. Once we are fluent in sentences, naturally we are going to become fluent in English as well.
Yeah, I think this I would try. I've never tried this. Maybe I will try this today in my class.
Sure. Any other questions do you have?
I think I asked you a lot of questions, but it
I appreciate you. You have taken this challenge. I want to appreciate you. Actually, I forgot to appreciate you. So it's good that we should take such kind of challenge. Actually, creating YouTube channels, especially educational channels, though we get very less views because people don't watch educational videos these days. So we should not be getting demotivated. That's why I want to appreciate you. You have got few subscribers, and then viewers are also increasing day by day. So take this challenge actually. So few people like us, we need to motivate what we can contribute for our country, how can we involve in our some teaching activities. Maybe it can help our students,
Yeah.
our Indian people to learn.
No, very less people are interested, but then it's okay. What to do? We have to do it anyhow. It is demotivating sometimes, very demotivating, but maybe I try to be immune to all those negative thoughts. I try. It's okay. I'm just doing it. So yes, but
Yeah, I think you have got some low
but I
yeah,
would
please go
I
on.
would say thank you so much for this session. It was a very insightful session. I got to know a lot of things, and I would surely implement it in my class also so that I can make it better. So thank you so much for having this conversation.
Sure, you're welcome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So let us dismiss then.